Well, hey y'all. Welcome to Tuesday Leadership Tips with Lita. I am your business partner for leadership success. Welcome to Tuesday Leadership Tips with Lita, aka TLT with Lita. Welcome to you on the YouTube platform, on the IG platform, and on the TikTok platform. Welcome to all of you. I am excited for today's conversation, for today's discussion. I hope that you all are ready, locked in, and ready for today's conversation. I'm excited for it. So come on in, y'all. Let me know how y'all are doing today. If you're doing well, put some form of emoji or something in the chat to let me know how you're doing. Y'all, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. And if you are out there and you know somebody that needs to be on here, share it with them right now. Share the live to let them know it's that time. TLT with Lita is going down now. Welcome. So, as we're getting ready to get started, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to those of you who join in on the lives, for those of you who, whichever platform you're on, that you join in, whether you watch it live or you come back later and watch it at a later time. I appreciate each one of you. Thank you for trusting me to be able to impart value in the leadership space in your life, in your business, on your platform, and whatever it is that you do. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. So, listen, y'all, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. So, today's leadership tip is this: let's go from just being disciplined to devoted. Devoted. When leadership stops being a habit, it becomes who we are, not just what we do. So today we're going to talk a bit about how to do that, how to turn this discipline, this consistency that we have started in our lives into something that we're devoted to, so much so that it becomes who we are. Last session, we talked about discipline. We talked about showing up even when we don't feel like it. We talked about that. And that's real. That's 100% real. We feel like that sometimes. We just don't want to do it. We're over it. But now we're taking leadership even deeper this week. Let's take it a little bit deeper, because eventually we want it to stop feeling forced. We don't want to feel like it's a job. I mean, yes, I know we're doing these things because we are involved in it, because we're making money in it, but we don't want it to feel forced. We want it to stop feeling temporary as well, because sometimes we can feel like we at this point right now in our leadership journey, and we eventually want to just give everything to someone else and we just kind of sit back and manage. We don't want it to feel temporary either, because it's like this: no matter where you are, if you have the skills to be able to step in and do something as a leader, you want to be able to be available to do it, not because you feel forced, but because it is who you are. And so we want it to get to that place and that space where leadership is no longer feeling forced, it's no longer feeling temporary, but it's feeling something like devotion. It's feeling like, hey, this thing is in me. It doesn't matter where I am. I will do it because I'm skilled to do it, because I have been equipped to do it. So, this particular session today is about helping leaders move from trying to stay disciplined to becoming deeply committed to your standards, to your mindset, to your values, to the identity that you have built for yourself. I don't know about you, but everywhere I go, I want people to know that this is who I am. This is not just what I do. This is who I am because I'm devoted to my values. I'm devoted to the standards that I have created for my life, for my business, for my family. This is who I am, not who I'm just trying to force myself to be, not just who I'm disciplining myself to be. This is who I am because I'm devoted. And so, leaders who are devoted, they don't constantly negotiate with their purpose. Listen, you don't negotiate with your purpose. You live aligned with it. You live aligned with it because you know who you are, you know where you are, you know where you're going, and you know that this is the vision that you have set for your life, for your business, for your standard. And listen, when you can stay devoted to that, you won't be shaken or moved by anything else. Discipline, as we talked about last week, yes, that does get us moving. It gets us to a place where we can do it, whether we feel like it or not. But this devotion that we're talking about today, it keeps us anchored when life gets hard. I wish somebody would be honest, like in the chat, and say life is hard sometimes. Sometimes life gets hard. Sometimes things don't go the way we want them to go. But what devotion does is anchors us when life gets hard, when distractions get loud, because distractions will come as well. And when, as we talked about last week, when motivation disappears, we no longer have the motivation. This devotion I'm talking about keeps you anchored. So even if everything else around you shakes, you are unshaken. So the real question today is, what are you truly devoted to as a leader? Do you know what you're truly devoted to, or have you just become accustomed to doing things habitually? And I'm not saying this to pick on anybody. I know because I've been there, especially when you do the same job, when you do the same job at the same time every day, and you do it day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out. Sometimes you can become accustomed to doing the same thing, but are you devoted to just doing what you do every day? And if that's your only devotion, then if any of those things that you do every day is ever taken away, then it will leave you feeling empty. And this is what I know: your daily habits, it should prove what you're devoted to. Because devotion always, listen to me, y'all, devotion always leaves evidence. Let me give you an example. If you are a person of faith and you pray and you spend time in the word, you spend time in prayer, when it's time for you to come out and someone calls on you to pray or to find a scripture, there's going to be some evidence that you spent time in prayer. There's going to be some evidence that you spent time in the word of God. It's just going to be some evidence. So it is in our businesses, in our journey as leaders. Whatever we are devoted to is going to leave some evidence. It's going to leave some evidence. And discipline, yes, it starts the change that we want. It brings us to the place where we say, you know what, I'm going to be disciplined to do this every day. But what devotion does is it drives it home. Discipline says something like, well, I need to do this. I need to get this done. I've said that so many times in my life. I need to get this done. I can't put this off anymore. I need to get it done. But devotion says, this is who I am now. Because of who I am now, there are certain things I'm going to do and certain things I'm not going to do. When you become that discipline leader, you build the routines, you create the standards, you push through the resistance. That's that right there is commendable, that you built the routines, you created the standards that you want for your organization, and you push through the resistance. That is commendable as a disciplined leader. But when you get devoted, you stay committed when nobody sees it. When nobody's around to applaud you, you stay committed. People may not see it. You may not have a post for it. You may not have any form of evidence on video that you can show somebody. But because you are devoted, because you are that person that became a devoted leader, you're going to stay committed, even if nobody sees you. You're also going to protect your growth fiercely. I don't know about you, but I am one of those that I'm constantly learning, constantly growing. I'm not waiting for somebody to tell me I need growth in this area, or I need to learn this, or I need to learn that. I protect the fact that I know without anybody telling me I need to grow. And I protect that portion of my life that I set aside to grow, to learn, to get in rooms, to get around people who know more than me. That's what happens when you get devoted. You no longer need constant motivation to stay aligned because you are devoted. And so when you get this level of devotion, it becomes identity for you. It's not just what you do. And when leadership becomes identity, consistency becomes natural. It's not a fight, it's not forced. It becomes natural. And I need y'all to really chime in for me on this one. When you have become that devoted leader, you got to identify what you're devoted to. What you become devoted to really matters. It matters. And the question is it purpose or pressure? Are you devoted to purpose, or are you devoted to the pressure that comes with everyday life, everyday business, everyday movement? Are you devoted to growth, or are you devoted to comfort? What you're devoted to, leaders, matters. It matters because it's going to make the difference in how you go, how far you go, and what you get to based upon what you are devoted to. Are you devoted to your calling, or are you devoted to your convenience? Because this is what devotion does, and I want y'all to picture this in your mind. Devotion shapes your focus. Devotion shapes your decisions. Devotion is going to shape your habits, y'all. It's going to shape your habits. It's even going to shape your environment. When you start getting really devoted to who you are, and where you're going, you're not just going to hang out with anybody. You're going to want to be around people that push you forward, that have already gone to where you're trying to go. It's going to shape your environment. You're just not going to hang out with anybody anymore. Because your devotion says, wait a minute, if you're going to grow, if you're going to go to the next level, you're going to have to get a new circle. You're going to have to get in an environment of growth. You're going to have to get in a space and a place where people see your dreams as too small. You're going to have to get from around people who don't want you to go further than them. You're going to have to get around people who see you further than you see you. And it's important that you get around those people with that type of vision, with that type of encouragement, with that type of advice. You get around those people. If you ever want to get to the place that you envision yourself, that you envision your business, that you envision the ideas that you have coming to pass, you're gonna have to get an environment that cultivates that, not smothers it out. If you're in an environment where they smother your dreams, where they tell you you dreaming too big, where they start telling you you're doing too much, if you're in an environment like that, you need to get out quickly. Your devotion is shaping your future. It's shaping your future because your focus is different, your decisions are different, your habits are different, your environment has changed. And that's going to change what your future looks like. As a leader, you got to become so devoted. And listen to me, y'all. I know we're leaders and we lead people and we're in positions of leadership, but you got to be so devoted to you that you won't let you fall by the wayside because you're trying to please, get the approval, or get the next person to agree with who you are. You're going to have to be so devoted to you as a leader that you don't allow anything to smother out what's inside of you so that you can go forward, so you can reach your goals, so you can see your vision come to pass. So this is my advice to you today, that you do now what your future self will thank you for later. And that means you're going to have to see yourself where you're trying to go. And you're going to have to make steps to reach that place. And that means your focus got to change. Your decision is going to have to be changed. Your habits going to have to be changed. Your environment may have to change. Your circle may have to be completely revamped because your future is on the line. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying leaders, you got to be devoted. And when you start getting devoted to you first, then you can lead people where you're going. But if you don't know what you're devoted to, your values are not in place. You are not making priorities with the things that matter to where you're going. Listen to me, leaders. Whatever has your devotion eventually directs your destiny. Whatever has your devotion will eventually direct your destiny. This is what devoted leadership looks like. It looks like staying grounded under pressure. Pressure doesn't make us abandon our standards. We don't move and shift because things don't look like we want it to look. No, we keep moving forward and we keep doing the things that we know it takes to get to where we're going. Pressure doesn't make us abandon. It doesn't make us stop it. It doesn't make us quit or compromise our standards. When we are devoted leadership, we stay grounded under pressure. When we are devoted, we protect our growth. We stop entertaining habits and environments and mindsets that pull us backward. If you're trying to go forward and everything you entertain, everything that you bring into your either your eye gates, your ear gates, wherever you are going, if it pulls you backward, you're not protecting your growth. Your growth says the things that you used to do that stopped you from going where you're trying to go, you stop entertaining that. You got to stop it. You got to stop entertaining it. You got to stop, in some instances, going to places that just pull you back. as a devoted leader, we got to move with intention. We don't drift emotionally from one season to another. We talked about this a little bit a while back about how when you're anchored, the anchor doesn't stop the storm. It doesn't even stop the movement of the ship. It just keeps you from drifting. So as we are becoming devoted leaders, we got to move with intention. We don't drift with every emotional wind. No, we are emotionally intelligent leaders that we don't move because the wind blew on the right or on the left of us at any particular time. No, we move with intention. We have standards. We have the goals. We have the habits in place. We don't move based on emotional drifts. And this one right here, I think is so important because a lot of times social media can make you want to be loud. And sometimes we look loud. I'm guilty. Sometimes it looks like I'm loud, but in real life, I'm kind of quiet. But this is what I'm saying. We keep growing quietly. We keep growing quietly, even when there's nobody applauding us. When nobody is saying, yay, you did a great job. When nobody's saying thank you, we keep growing quietly. Because, like I said earlier, whatever becomes your habits will eventually show some evidence. There'll be some evidence that'll show up. It'll show up. So you keep growing quietly. I just know that there is somebody out there who needs to know just because everybody doesn't see you growing doesn't mean that you're not. Oftentimes, growth happens in silence. It happens where there's no spotlight at all. Keep growing quietly because devotion is what you continue doing after the excitement fades, after there's no hoopla anymore. You're devoted. So as we are thinking about the various areas where we're growing, as we're thinking about the various areas where the excitement has faded, let me tell you how we build devotion daily. Number one, we feed what we want to grow. We feed what we want to grow. Listen, whatever you feed will grow. Whatever you starve will die. If you don't feed the growth that you need in the areas that you need growth, it's eventually going to die. So feed what you want to grow. If that's your mindset, if that's your discipline, if that's your emotional intelligence, if that's your peace, you're going to have to feed what you want to grow. Feed what you want to grow. And then stop negotiating with your standards. And this is not always negotiating with other people. Sometimes we negotiate with ourselves. The more you negotiate, the weaker your leadership foundation becomes. Don't negotiate in your own mind and start talking yourself out of what you already know that you need to do to move forward. Even if you feel like you're tired, if you feel like you're over it, you feel like you want to give up, listen, don't give up. Don't negotiate with your standards. Stick to them. And some days will be hard. Whew. Some days will be difficult. Some days will feel pointless, like it's pointless that you're even doing this or doing that, but don't give up. Don't give up. Don't negotiate your standards. Keep moving forward. And one good way to do that is remember your why. because purpose strengthens devotion. Listen to me, y'all. When you forget why you started, you eventually lose the strength to continue because you'll feel like, why? Why am I doing this? You can't forget your why. Don't forget your why. Keep that at the forefront of your mind. Keep that on the top of your list of priorities because your why is going to keep things in proper perspective. Your why is going to push you when you want to give up. Your why is what's going to keep you focused, even when there are distractions all around you. Your why is going to put you back in alignment. Don't ever forget your why. Don't forget your why. And so this is what I want you all to do for this week. It's just Tuesday, y'all. Got all week. This one, well, it's three things actually, but in this week, number one, identify one area where you need deeper devotion. One area that could be, like I said, mindset, it could be emotional intelligence, it could be competence, it could be character, whatever it is that you need a deeper devotion. Identify that one area. And then the second thing is remove one distraction that's competing with your growth. One distraction. If it's scrolling social media, then remove it. If it's watching TV, then remove it. Remove one distraction that's competing with your growth because your growth is necessary for you to become who you are trying to become and to go where you're trying to go. The last thing is commit to one standard you will stop negotiating with. If that is your time, stop negotiating with your time. Make sure your time is well spent. Whatever one standard is that you keep negotiating with, and that you're going to stop negotiating with that. So, again, we're talking about going from just a devoted leader, going from just a disciplined leader to a devoted one. And devotion becomes not just what we do, but who we are. And I want to leave y'all with this closing thought. This closing thought today. Discipline started our transformation, but devotion is what will sustain and drive us to becoming the leader we're called to becoming the person we're called to becoming whatever becoming is for you. Because eventually, leadership is no longer just what we do, it becomes who we are. So this week, we're going to get devoted. And the last thing I want to say before I jump off is that share this with another leader that needs this conversation. Share this with someone if you're on the TikTok platform, on IG, on YouTube. Share this with another leader. Share this with someone who needs to go from just doing habitual things every day to actually being devoted and being one who accomplishes things because they stayed devoted to who they are and to what they're called to do. All right, y'all. Don't forget this week's challenge. I'll put it if you're on TikTok. You can go on my IG page and you can share it from there, or you can go to my YouTube channel and share from there as well. But remember the challenge: identify one area where you need deeper devotion. Remove one distraction that's competing with your growth, and then finally commit to one standard that you'll stop negotiating with. Let's become not just disciplined, but devoted. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me make sure we don't have any questions or comments. Um, but thank you so much for joining us for this conversation, and I look forward to the next time. The next time will be the fourth Tuesday of this month. I look forward to the conversation with you all then. Share it with someone. Let them know TLT with Lita will be happening again on the fourth Tuesday of the month of May. All right, y'all. Thank you again. Until next time. Peace.